Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is just about the different musical ensembles. We have vocal ensembles and instrumental ensembles that you can go to their concerts. They're fun and people like them. So I'm going to talk to you about the vocal ensembles first. We basically have a cappella groups, choirs, and chorus. Okay? A choir is just a smaller group of vocalists, and a chorus is a large group. Choir is the small, chorus is the large. So Dakota State University has a choir. We have like 24 people in it. A chorus could have like 300 people in it. So chorus is a large group of vocalists singing together, and a choir is a small group of vocalists singing together. A cappella simply means singing voices only, no musical instruments. So here is an example of a choir. Now this is a very large chorus, actually. Scratch that. That's a chorus. Look how many people there are. That's huge. That's a chorus. There's a guy sitting here at the piano, but he's not going to play. He's going to give them their starting pitches, and then he's going to not play. So that is a cappella. Cappella literally means the head. So it's only voices, singing voices, because the singing voices come from the head. A cappella means voices only. Those are the starting pitches, and then he doesn't play. That's a cappella. This is also a cappella.
Salve
There's that Beethoven song.
The pipes He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie sound that no one else could play. He's in the army now, I'm blowing reveille.
Now this guy here, he's the beatboxer. So it sounds like it's playing with an instrument. It sounds like it's playing with drums, but it's coming from his head, his voice. So it's still called a cappella, and we call that beatboxing.
He's a boogie woogie builder boy from Many Bay. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Really fun video. They go through all of the music of old time. It's really kind of cool to show you the different styles of music, and we're going to be studying that. This is a really cool video you can watch. This is a new thing that this blonde man here in the picture, his name is Eric Whitaker. He started, and what he does is he has all these people Skype in, actually. They Skype in and they sing together. There's a click track that they sing to, and he kind of conducts them to keep them doing dynamics together and all that kind of stuff. So that's called a virtual choir, and you can watch that. That's really interesting. We also have, I'm going to make a statement about this. It's called the virtual choir, but if you see how many humans are actually Skyping in, it should be a chorus, because chorus is more singers, but he calls it a virtual choir. Scala, this is more of a choir. See, it's not quite so many people. Here's a chorus, lots and lots of people. Here's a choir, maybe 30 or 40 people. And this is a group, they sing pop tunes, and it's all women, but they sing them in a choir setting, and they're really beautiful, really nice. And of course, pentatonics, which I just showed you, is a cappella. Then we have instrumental ensembles. You can hear a string quartet, which I'll play for you. This is a string quartet playing a pop tune called Bittersweet Symphony. It's got 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. And in order from highest to lowest, it's violin 1, violin 2, go down to viola, and then down to cello. There's no bass in a string quartet. Quartet means four. That's a string quartet. Then we have different combinations of instruments. You can do a duo, which is 2 instruments. A trio is 3. Quartet is 4. Quintet is 5. You go all the way out to like a octet, which is 8, or nonet, which is 9. All the way out to a symphony orchestra, which is a lot. But here's an example of a duo. This is a cello and a piano playing the story of my life. That's a cello playing with a piano. And then you can go all the way out to the string orchestra. Now, I have a video on here of Harry Potter music, and it's written by a composer named John Williams, and you can actually listen to John Williams conducting an orchestra playing Harry Potter music. It's really great. I'll let you listen to that on your own. And just a little side note, this is my kid right here in the blue shirt. He's a composer with the Los Angeles Philharmonic, which is this orchestra behind here. And this was when one of his first piece was premiered by the Los Angeles Philharmonic. So that's a real orchestra today. I thought you might like to see that. That's the orchestra. This is the concert hall. This is called Walt Disney Concert Hall. It's in Los Angeles. It's a beautiful, weird-looking building. Here's another side of it. It looks like shining silver pieces of music floating in the air. Here's the inside of the concert hall where the symphony plays down here on the stage. So you can actually sit all around it, and the whole ceiling is made out of wood. It makes it sound better. We also have rock bands, wind, marching bands, jazz bands. And then we get to the role of the conductor. Who is this person? He stands in front of the orchestra or the choir, and they wave their arms around. A conductor who conducts instruments uses what's called a baton, which he has in his hand here. A conductor who conducts choirs just uses their hands. He uses an upbeat to prepare the orchestra, and then he gives them a downbeat so they start together. And I want to show you one of the most dynamic conductors we have today is, his last name is Dudamel. He actually conducts the Los Angeles Philharmonic. And here is he's from Venezuela, and this is the youth orchestra from Venezuela, and he's conducting them. So you'll see he's very dynamic. Lifts his hand to prepare them. There it is. Goes up and down. So they know when to come in. This is an orchestra of young people from Venezuela. In Venezuela, every child is taught to play an instrument. Every single child gets to learn how to play an instrument. That's why this orchestra is so good and is full of so many young people. They did that because the gang violence in Venezuela was so bad that they tried to show the kids art and culture to try to get rid of the violence, and it's been quite well received. Here's another example of Gustavo Dudamel. He's conducting the same orchestra, but they're dressed up fancy this time. And you're going to see him lift his arms to prepare the orchestra, and then he gives a downbeat. So the upbeat is when he lifts his arms up, and the downbeat is when he puts his arms down so they start together. Oh, I got to rewind it. Here we go. Goes up, up, down. That's an upbeat and a downbeat. Watch that one more time. See that? Up, down. Up, down. Up B is when he goes up, down B is when he goes down. It's that simple. There's also orchestras in action. This is a really cool thing, and it's where orchestras go out and they bring kids in to listen to orchestra music, and they have certain pieces of music that were written to kind of explain the instruments in the orchestra to them. So you can listen to this video right here, and that gives you an example of how that's done. And then this is my kid again. He's the one holding Earth. And the program where his piece was premiered was that kind of the same program, Orchestra in Action. They actually brought in kids from LA, all over, schools from all over, and they played the orchestra music for them. And this time what they did was they took a piece of music called The Planets by Gustav Holst, which is music he wrote for every planet in our solar system. So he wrote a song for Earth and Mars and Saturn. So each piece reflects the character or the nature of the mythological god that the planet was named after. My son wrote a piece called The Pale Blue Dot, which was a picture of Earth that the Voyager took when it went out into space. And that, my friends, is chapter 11.